Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 11, Vishvarupa Darshana Yoga, or the Yoga of the Vision of the Universal Form. In the heart of the battlefield, where destinies entwine, Arjuna, the valiant warrior, seeks a vision divine. With eyes of devotion, he implores the Supreme to reveal his true form beyond mortal dream. Krishna, the Eternal, with a compassionate smile, unveils the cosmic vision transcending time's aisle. A universe unfurls within his radiant light, infinite forms, wondrous and frightful in sight. Arjuna beholds the dance of creation and end, with awe and terror to the Lord he does bend. The essence of time, the destroyer of all, Krishna's vast presence makes even the mighty fall. In this grand revelation the truth does resound, that in unwavering devotion the divine is found. Through love and surrender the ultimate we see, Krishna's eternal form in boundless divinity. Verse 1. Arjuna says that hearing Krishna's words about the Supreme Self has dispelled his ignorance. Verse 2. Arjuna acknowledges Krishna's revelations about his divine powers and expresses his gratitude. Verse 3. Arjuna states his desire to see Krishna's divine universal form. Verse 4. Arjuna requests Krishna to show him that universal form if he thinks Arjuna is capable of seeing it. Verse 5. Krishna agrees and tells Arjuna to behold his many forms and manifestations. Verse 6. Krishna describes the various divine beings and elements present in his universal form. Verse 7. Krishna tells Arjuna that he can see the entire universe in his body. Verse 8. Krishna grants Arjuna divine vision to perceive his universal form. Verse 9. Sanjaya, the narrator, describes how Krishna reveals his universal form to Arjuna. Verse 10. 11. Krishna's form is described as having countless faces, eyes, arms and ornaments, radiating an immense blinding light. Verse 12. Sanjaya compares the radiance of Krishna's form to the light of 1,000 suns. Verse 13. Arjuna sees the entire universe in Krishna's body in all its diversity and unity. Verse 14. Arjuna is filled with awe and reverence at the sight of Krishna's form. Verse 15. Arjuna praises Krishna and describes what he sees within his universal form, including all the gods and many wondrous visions. Verse 16. Arjuna sees Krishna's form with no beginning, middle or end, filled with infinite faces and eyes, blazing like fire in the sun. Verse 17. Arjuna sees Krishna adorned with divine crowns, clubs and discs, radiating everywhere. Verse 18. Arjuna acknowledges Krishna as the ultimate truth, eternal and the source of everything. Verse 19. Arjuna sees Krishna's form as boundless, with infinite arms, eyes like the sun and moon, and a dazzling light. Verse 20. Arjuna sees all the space between heaven and earth filled with Krishna's form, making all the worlds tremble in awe. Verse 21. The gods are seen entering Krishna's form, some in awe, while the demons are terrified and flee in all directions. Verse 22. Arjuna sees various divine beings and sages worshipping Krishna and praising him with hymns. Verse 23. Arjuna describes the vast, terrifying vision of Krishna's form, with many mouths, eyes and arms. Verse 24. Arjuna sees Krishna's form touching the sky, radiating many colors with gaping mouths and immense fiery eyes. Verse 25. The sight of Krishna's terrifying form makes Arjuna lose his peace and composure. Verse 27. Arjuna sees all the warriors from both sides of the battle rushing into Krishna's terrifying mouths, their heads crushed. Verse 28. Arjuna compares the warriors entering Krishna's mouths to rivers flowing into the ocean. Verse 29. He describes them as moths rushing into a blazing fire to meet their destruction. Verse 30. Arjuna sees Krishna consuming all the worlds with his fiery mouths, burning everything with his radiance. Verse 31. Arjuna, trembling, asks Krishna who he really is and what his intention is in this terrifying form. Verse 32. Krishna reveals himself as time, the destroyer of all, destined to annihilate everything. Verse 33. Krishna urges Arjuna to fight, stating that the warriors are already doomed by his will and Arjuna is merely an instrument. Verse 34. Krishna tells Arjuna to conquer his enemies and fulfill his destiny as a warrior. Verse 35. Sanjaya describes Arjuna's reverence and trembling as he praises Krishna and bows before him. Verse 36. Arjuna acknowledges the fear Krishna's form inspires in all beings and praises him. Verse 37. Arjuna recognizes Krishna as the Supreme Being, beyond all understanding and forms. Verse 38. Arjuna sees Krishna as the primeval God, the ultimate refuge, and the immortal guardian of eternal Dharma. Verse 39. Arjuna praises Krishna as the source of all creation, the destroyer and the support of the universe. Verse 40. Arjuna bows in every direction, recognizing Krishna's all-encompassing form. Verse 41, 42. Arjuna asks for forgiveness for any offenses he might have committed in ignorance, treating Krishna as a friend. Verse 43. Arjuna acknowledges Krishna as the father, teacher, and most venerable being in the universe. Verse 44. Arjuna prostrates himself and seeks Krishna's mercy, praising his incomprehensible power and glory. Verse 45. Arjuna, overwhelmed, asks Krishna to revert to his more familiar, gentle form. Verse 46. Arjuna requests Krishna to show his four-armed form, adorned with a crown and holding a mace and disc. Verse 47. Krishna tells Arjuna that his universal form is a rare vision, not easily seen by anyone. Verse 48. Krishna emphasizes that even the gods long to see this form, which is revealed only by his grace. Verse 49. Krishna reassures Arjuna, urging him not to be fearful or bewildered. Verse 50. Krishna returns to his gentle four-armed form, relieving Arjuna. Verse 51. Arjuna, seeing Krishna's gentle form, regains his composure and praises Krishna. Verse 52. Krishna explains that his universal form is difficult to see and was revealed only due to Arjuna's devotion. Verse 53. Krishna emphasizes that his universal form cannot be seen by study, austerities, charity, or rituals alone. Verse 54. Krishna states that only through unwavering devotion can one truly know, see, and enter into him. Verse 55. Krishna concludes by encouraging Arjuna to engage in loving devotion, free from envy, as the path to attain him.